Today we're going to look at the Virus Shawl with one slight difference. I filled in the little gaps that you tend to get with the Virus Shawl. This is a really simple technique, as you can see here. It just adds a different little dimension to the design. That's the only change I've made, filling in those little spaces that you get at the beginning here, centre, all the way down. Right, so if you'd like to stay with me, we'll work the Virus Shawl, just a sample, because I don't need to make the whole shawl, because once you start and you know how to do these first few rows, you just continue and follow what you've done on previous rows. It's that simple. Right, let's begin. Begin by working a total of 7 chains. Work them quite loosely. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, work a US treble, and that's a UK double treble, by working 2 yarn overs, and then in the 5th chain from your hook, underneath 2 loops like so, work your US treble or UK double treble, and that creates a little space. Next, chain 2, work another treble, US treble, UK double crochet into the same chain. Chain 2, and then slip stitch into your starting chain. So that completes the little framework for our first row of double crochets, US double crochets, UK trebles. Next, chain 3. The chain 3 count as a double crochet throughout the pattern. Turn, and then into each space work 6 US double crochets, UK trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You might find you need to just nudge or just push those little stitches to one side to make room. So that's the first little space made. Next, into the next space work another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I definitely need, this is another word, we can slide those stitches across to make room for our 6th US double crochet. There we go. This is how it's looking. And now we place another 6 double crochets into the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to slide them across, and then 6. And then we work a double crochet into the 3rd of these chains below. So sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but if you can just rotate them 1, 2, so we can see the 3rd chains there. So I'm just going to try and get underneath 2 loops and just work, actually in this case we need to work a double crochet. I do apologise, I was back at the beginning there. So double crochet in there, and of course if you're in the UK or UK terminology, wherever you are in the world, that's a UK treble. There we go. So that completes what we can call row 2, and we have a total of 20 US double crochets, UK trebles. We have 6 in each space, so that gives us 18. Our starting chain gives us 19, and the final double crochet into the chain makes 20. Okay, so that's really the foundation to get you going. And now we can begin row 3. I forget this is row 1 here. Row 2 and next row 3. For row 3, begin once again by working a chain 3, turn. That will count as your first double crochet, and into the next double crochet, work a double crochet, and you work this sequence all the way round. So a double crochet into each stitch, and that will give you a total of 20 double crochets again. I count at the end of every little section because it's one of those patterns that if you don't have the correct number of stitches, it's a bit difficult to correct. It's not the end of the world, but it just makes life easier if you do have the right number of stitches. So continue all the way round, and I'll meet you at the end of row 3. I'm sorry, I will get this correct. So here we are at the end of row 3. I'll just do this little bit so you make sure that you get into your very last stitches. So that's a double crochet there. So we double crochet into that, and then you need to work a double crochet into the third of those starting chains. Try and go under 2 loops. There we go. So that completes row 3, and this is how it's looking. For row 4, we start again exactly the same way with our chain 3. Once again, don't do these chains too tightly. Turn, and instead of working straight into there, do an extra chain. That's a little chain, 1 chain space. So you could start with chain 4 and then double crochet straight into the next stitch. I just did that to make sure you realize that extra little chain gives us a chain space here. And we do a chain and then a double crochet into the next stitch all the way around. So 1 chain, double crochet into the next stitch, 1 chain, double crochet into the next. And this is how it's looking. So continue all the way around, and I'll meet you here. At the end of row 4, we do our final chain 1 and our very last double crochet into the third of the turning chains. And this is how it's looking. To begin row 5, chain 3, turn, that counts as your first double crochet. Then we work a chain 1 because we're creating a chain 1 space there. Next, work another double crochet into that space, that first space. Chain 1 and work another double crochet into that same first space. chain 1 and then single crochet into the next space. So what we've done here is create some little spaces to work our next row into. Now normally in the Virus Shawl you wouldn't be doing these little double crochets here. That's the technique that fills in the gap. Right, we're now going to work 3 5 chain loops. So chain 5, skip a space, single crochet in the next space, chain 5, 1 2 3 4 5, skip a space and single crochet in the next space, chain 5, skip a space, single crochet into the next space. Just have a look how it's looking. There we go. So if I bring in the sample piece, just to give you an idea of where you're up to. So we've completed these first 4 rows, 1 2 3 4, and then we've created these little chain loops here for our next row, and we've created those first 3 5 chain loops that form the base of this little lacy design just here, almost like a little triangle. And now we're going to create these little spaces at the top. Begin by working a chain 2 and then do a US treble, UK double treble, skip a space into the next space. So we need a total of 4 2 chain spaces. So that's our first one, chain 2, another US treble, that's our second space, chain 2, and then another US treble, then chain 2, that's our third space, then we skip the next space and single crochet in the next space, and then we have our 4 2 chain spaces. Then we're ready to create our 3 5 chain loops. So we're just mirroring the opposite side now. Skip a space and single in the next space, chain 5, skip a space and single, then we chain 1, double crochet in our next chain space, chain 1, another double crochet, chain 1, and then we find the third of our starting chains and end row 5 with a double crochet. And that completes row 5, which is almost like a little setup row for the next row, in that it forms this little base like structure for our double crochets. Right, so if we turn over, this is how it's looking. There. For row 6, chain 3, turn, and then in this first space work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. In the second space, work 3 double crochets, and into the last space work another 3 double crochets. This is how it's looking. So that gives us our 10 double crochets. This one here, 3, 3 and 3. Next, single crochet into the next 5 chain space, chain 5, and single crochet into the next 5 chain space, chain 5, and single crochet into the next 5 chain space. Next we're going to work 5 double crochets into this next 2 chain space. 1, 2, 3, just push them across a little, 4 and 5, and work another 5 into the next 2 chain space. And that will complete our first 10 double crochets. And now we'll repeat, working 5 double crochets into the next 2 chain space, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and another 5 into the next 2 chain space, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we'll just have a look at these 20 double crochets. This is how it's looking. Right, to continue row 6, we'll now work a single crochet into the next 5 chain space, and then work 5 chains and work a single crochet into the next 5 chain space, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains and a single crochet into the next 5 chain space. And to complete, we need to work 3 double crochets into each of the next chain spaces. If you look here, we've just done 3 into this first chain space. We'll now work 3 into the next chain space, and then another 3 into our final chain space. And we finish with a double crochet into the third of our starting chains. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We need to make sure we go under 2 loops. And that completes row 6. For row 7, once again, start with 3 chains to count as your first double crochet. And now we'll double crochet into each of the remaining 9 double crochets. So turn your work and go ahead working a double crochet into all 9 of the remaining double crochets. Once again, you'll have a total of 10 double crochets. So continue, and I'll meet you here. I'm just about to complete my 9th double crochet, which is just here, just before our single crochet. Just tease the work apart there. There's your single crochet. Don't get confused with this chain loop here. Next, we single crochet into the next 5 chain loop, and then chain 5, and single crochet into the next 5 chain loop. So we've only 1 5 chain loop on this row. This is how it's looking. Now we're going to do a double crochet into each of these 20 double crochets. So skip over the loop and the single crochet and go straight into your first double crochet and work your 20 double crochets. So go ahead, continue working your double crochets all the way around, and I'll meet you here. I've just worked the 19th double crochet here. This is our last double crochet here, just before the single crochet. So work your last or your 20th double crochet in there, and then go straight ahead and single crochet into the 5 chain loop. Chain 5, and we just mirror what was on the other side, and then single crochet into your next 5 chain loop. Next, double crochet in each of the following 9 double crochets, and then do 1 double crochet in the top of your 3 chain loop to give you a total of 10 double crochets. So skip over your single crochet straight into the double crochet with your first double crochet. At the end of row 7, I've just completed the double crochet in the last double crochet, and we complete our 10th double crochet into the top of the chain 3. So that completes row 7. This is how it's looking. Just zoom out. And we're now ready to begin row 8. For row 8, chain 3 and turn. Then we do a chain 1 for our chain 1 space. Then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1 and double crochet into the next stitch. So complete this in the remaining double crochets, and I'll meet you here just before the single crochet. So we've completed our 10 double crochets with our chain 1 spaces in between. Next, we're just going to single crochet into the 5 chain space and repeat this sequence of stitches all the way around the next 20 double crochets. So single crochet into that 5 chain loop, and then find your first double crochet here. Remember, you have a single crochet there. This is your actual first double crochet here. So we do our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into all 20 double crochets. So if you continue this sequence of stitches all the way around, I'll meet you here in your last double crochet. So we're just coming up to the end. You can see here, this is actually your last double crochet, not here. This is your 5 chain loop with a single crochet. So it's this one here, that's your 20th double crochet. It's always a good idea to just check that you do have your 20 double crochets. So remember, this is your 5 chain loop here. So we start counting here. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Next, single crochet straight into the 5 chain loop, and then work into your first of your 10 double crochets here with a double crochet. So once again, skipping over this 5 chain loop little portion there, and that single crochet straight into your first double crochet with a double crochet, a chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and then you repeat this over all 10 stitches. But at the end, of course, you're going to do a double crochet into the top of your chains, into the third of your turning chains. Right, almost there. So we just continue doing our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then chain 1. And if we have a look here, this is twisted a little, but 1, 2, 3, that's our third of our turning chains. Just do yarn over, going under 2 loops of that top chain with our final double crochet. I am going to make sure I have 10, so we don't count this 5 chain loop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely. So that completes row 7. I'll just zoom out a little. So we just have here row 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I may have made a mistake there. I think that's row 8. 5, 6, 7, yes, 8. We've just completed row 8. So for row 9, we're basically repeating this row here, which is row 5. The only difference is, if you look here, we've got a little dip there, whereas on this row here, we didn't have that little dip. So we'll make another set of these stitches, these little groups, like fan-like stitches, and you'll see that this little fan-like shape will also sit here and here. Right, all become clear in a few moments. So let's start row 9, which is really just a repeat of row 5 with that little difference here. So if you begin by working 4 chains, 3 will count as a double crochet, and the 4th one will count for our chain space. Turn, and into this first space work a double crochet. chain 1 and work another double crochet into the same first space, chain 1 and then single crochet into the next space. Next, chain 5, skip a space and single crochet into the next space, chain 5, skip a space and single crochet into the next space, and repeat, chain 5 and skip a space and single crochet into the next space. Now we're going to work a slightly different stitch into this little single crochet here to fill in this gap. Normally with the Virus Shawl we'd probably chain about 5 and single crochet in this space here. Instead of doing that, we're going to chain 1 and then work a double crochet into this single crochet just here. So go ahead and double crochet in there quite loosely, then chain 2 and work another double crochet back into that single crochet, chain 1 and then skip this first space here. Ignore this space, that's just part of your 5 chain loop. This is your first double crochet and that's your first space between your double crochets. You single crochet into that next space. Next, chain 5, skip a space, single crochet in the next space, chain 5, skip a space, single crochet in the next space, chain 5, skip a space and single crochet into your next space. This is how it's looking. Next we're going to chain 2 and treble crochet into the space after this one, repeating this little set of stitches. So if you chain 2, yarn over twice, skip a space and treble crochet into the next space, chain 2, treble crochet into the same space, chain 2, yarn over twice to treble crochet into the same space, chain 2, and then skip a space and single crochet into the next space, and there you've completed your 4 2-chain spaces. Now down this side we'll just mirror what we've done on this side. So we'll make our 3 5-chain loops, chain 5, skip a space, single crochet into the next space. There we go. Single crochet in that next space, chain 5, skip a space, single crochet in the next space. So that's 1, 2, 5 chain loops so far. Chain 5, skip a space, single crochet into the next space. So you can see we've just got one chain space left here. Remember, don't get confused with this little last space here. Next, we're going to make our little chain one and then a double crochet into the single crochet, a chain two, and a double crochet back into the single crochet. And this time just chain one, skip the first space. Remember, that isn't your first space there. This is your first space. Single crochet into that next space. Chain 5. And we're ready to make our 3 5 chain loops again. Chain 5. Skip a space, single crochet in your next space. Chain 5. Skip a space, single crochet into the next space. And now we're ready to make our chain spaces and some double crochets directly into here. So we're going to chain one, double crochet into this space, the final space, chain one, double crochet into the end space again, chain one, and then we're ready to work a double crochet into the third of our turning chains, and that will give us a total of 3 1 chain spaces. There we go. So that completes row 9, and this is how it's looking. For row 10, start with 3 chains. The 3 chains count as your first double crochet, turn, and then into this first chain space work 3 double crochets. Work 3 double crochets into the next chain space, and finally 3 double crochets into your next chain space just before your single crochet. Then work a single crochet into the next 5 chain space, chain 5, single crochet into the next 5 chain space, chain 5, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did think I'd done one too many. And then double crochet into the next 5 chain space. We're ready now to work into the 1 chain space, the next 2 chain space, and the 1 chain space that's just nestled between these fan-like stitches. Into this first chain space, work 2 double crochets, then into this 2 chain space, work 6 double crochets, and we just need to slide those across slightly. There we go. And into the next chain space, work 2 double crochets, and that should give us a total of 10 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then into our next 5 chain space, work a single crochet, chain 5, and single crochet into your next 5 chain space, chain 5, and single crochet into your next 5 chain space. We're now ready to work this fan-like shape across the top once more. So we go ahead and work 5 double crochets into each of these 2 chain spaces. I think now you're probably familiar with working your double crochets into chain spaces, but it's 5 this time, like I've just said. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might just need to slide them across a little. Then we work another 5 into this space and into this space. So basically 5 double crochets into each of the next 2 chain spaces. And 5. And then another 5 into the next 2 chain space. And that completes your 5 double crochets into each 2 chain space. Now we're going to work into our 5 chain loops. So single crochet into that first 5 chain loop, chain 5, single crochet into the next 5 chain loop, and chain 5 once again, and single crochet into the next 5 chain loop. This is how it's looking. Next we're going to work our double crochets into these chain spaces here. Into the chain space there, we're working 2, into this one 6, and into this one 2. Giving us a total of 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, and then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 into the next space. 1, 2, giving us a total of 10. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we single crochet into our next 5 chain space, chain 5, single crochet into the next 5 chain space, chain 5, single crochet into our next 5 chain space, and now we're ready to work 3 double crochets into each of the next 3 1 chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we finish with our 10th double crochet into the 3rd of our turning chains, trying to go under 2 stitches. There we go. So this completes, or I should say that completes row 10. So we have a look. I'll just zoom out. That's how it's looking. So let's begin row 11. For row 11, start by chaining 3 as usual. Those count as your first double crochet. Turn and then work a double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches. That will give us a total of the equivalent of 10 double crochets. So go ahead, work your double crochets, and I'll meet you here. So there we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets, and then we single crochet in our next 5 chain space, chain 5 and single crochet in our next 5 chain space. Then we work another 10 double crochets over the next 10 double crochets. Ignore this is your single crochet. This is your first double crochet. So go ahead, work your double crochets over these, and I'll meet you when you reach here. So we're just about to finish this set of 10 double crochets. This is our very last double crochet, just here. And then we skip over the single crochet there into the next 5 chain space and straight away do our single crochet. Chain 5 and single crochet in your next 5 chain space. And we're now ready to work double crochets over the next 20 double crochets. So once again, skip over your single crochet, find your first double crochet, there's the top, and work 1 double crochet into each of the next 20 double crochets. So go ahead and I'll meet you once you've completed your 20 double crochets. I'll meet you here. So I'm just about to pop the 20th double crochet in there into the last stitch. And next we go ahead and single crochet straight into that next 5 chain loop. And that completes the top area here. Now we're just going to work down this side exactly as we've done on this side. Just mirror what you've done on that side. So we chain 5 and single crochet into our next 5 chain loop. And now we're ready to work into the next 10 double crochets. So once again, skip over your single crochet and go into your first double crochet and work a double crochet in each of the next 10. So I've completed these 10 double crochets, and now we're just going to single crochet, chain 5 and single crochet here. And then single crochet into the next 5 chain loop, and then double crochet over the next 10 double crochets. So go ahead and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So here we are at the end of the row, and we're going to do our final double crochet into the third of our turning chains. So that completes row 11. For row 12, once again start with your 3 chains that will count as your first double crochet. Now we're doing the double crochets into the existing double crochets below, but we're popping a chain 1 on this row between them. So chain 1 and then into the next double crochet, just work a regular double crochet and then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1. So go ahead, work this sequence of stitches across the 10 double crochets, and I'll meet you in a moment. So that completes our 10 double crochets with our chain spacers. This is where we finish. Next, we just single crochet into that 5 chain loop, and then repeat, working across our next 10 double crochets. Skip that single crochet and work into the next double crochet, chain 1, and continue across all 10 double crochets. So this is how it's looking. We've worked across all 10 double crochets and finished here with our double crochet. Now we're ready to work a single crochet into this 5 chain loop. When you've worked your single crochet, we need to find our next double crochet just here, where we have 20 double crochets across the top, and again we chain 1 and double crochet into each of those stitches, ending with a double crochet in the last stitch. So go ahead, work across all the double crochets like so, and I'll meet you in the last double crochet. So I've completed the 20 double crochets with the chain 1 spacers, ended in the last double crochet with a double crochet, and now we just single crochet into the next 5 chain loop, and then find our next double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet into each of the remaining double crochets across this next little fan-like stitch just here. So I'm just about to work my final double crochet in that final double crochet there, and then we single crochet in the next 5 chain loop and work our next set of double crochets over the existing double crochets on the row below, doing a chain 1 between. So just work to the end and I'll meet you in a second. So here we are at the end of row 12. I've done a chain 1 and now we'll double crochet into the third of our turning chains there, starting chains or whatever you prefer to call them. So that completes row 12. At the end of row 12 here, this is where we did our repeat from row 9 through 10, 11 and 12. And then I went ahead and repeated row 9, 10, 11, 12, just so you could see how these fans multiply. As you can see, we have 1 here, 2 on the next repeat and 3 on the next repeat. And it's the same, of course, on both sides. This bit in the centre doesn't seem to change. So just carry on doing your row repeats from row 9 to 12. I'll leave timestamps on the video so you can access those spots really easily. Thank you so much for watching, and just a gentle reminder, if you're not already subscribed and watching the channel like I know a lot of you do consider hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free to subscribe, doesn't cost anything at all. And also, if you hit the like button if you've really enjoyed the tutorial, and share, and if you've also got something to say, let me know about it in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, take care. See you on the next tutorial.